Let's explain why everyone's talking about Trump's recent reversal of Nvidia H200 chip exports to China. To level set, the H200s are chips from Nvidia that are basically industrial grade infrastructure for AI. It's what you need to train models like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, and they're part of Nvidia's Hopper generation and a pretty big step up because they have way more memory, they're faster, and have better performance for training large AI models. Back in 2022, the US government restricted exports of advanced AI chips to China out of national security concerns. They worried that these chips could accelerate China's military AI, and if they cut off access, it would help the US maintain their AI lead. So, Nvidia was barred from selling their most powerful chips to China. Nvidia tried to work around this by making downgraded versions, but over time, those loopholes were closed. And by 2024 to 2025, Nvidia's AI chip sales to China had basically gone to zero. However, as of last week, the US decided to allow Nvidia to export H200 chips to China under some strict conditions. Now, H200s can be sold, but not their newest generation of Blackwell chips. And all chips have to be inspected and routed through the US, with only approved Chinese companies being able to buy them. There will also be a 25% fee/tariff applied to each chip. You might be wondering why the US would even do this. There are a couple of reasons why people support this. One, China is one of the largest AI markets in the world, so blocking those sales does hurt Nvidia, and by extension, you could argue US tech leadership and R&D funding, especially if the US government gets a 25% tariff on each sale. Some policymakers actually believe that by letting China buy last-gen chips, it may slow their effort to achieve chip independence while keeping the US one step ahead. The third reason is people view it as controlled access over black markets. If China can't buy chips legally, they believe that they'll try anyway through gray market, and by regulating exports, it'll give the US more visibility and leverage. A lot of supporters viewing this as a more realistic or sustainable policy than a total decoupling. At the same time, a lot of critics are still arguing that the H200s are extremely powerful, and selling it could significantly boost China's AI capabilities, which would undermine the original goal of the US slowing China's AI progress. The other critique is that they'll buy today and build tomorrow, so once they do get H200s in hand and at scale, they can learn from them and even try to reverse engineer certain aspects. In the long run, they believe that it would strengthen China's semiconductor industry rather than weaken it. So in terms of where things stand right now, the newest Nvidia chips still remain off limits, but we do know that the Chinese tech giants like Alibaba, ByteDance, and Tencent do want the H200s pretty badly. So Nvidia is considering ramping up their production for that. At the same time, the Chinese government is still actually deciding whether or not to approve these large-scale imports, and they may actually also attach conditions like requiring purchases of domestic Chinese chips alongside Nvidia's. The US Commerce Department is still hammering out the fine print of these exports, so we'll see how it all plays out.